Hey there, welcome to the channel. I'm Cindy Daychuk with Queen Bee Creations, and we're doing 3 different thrift flips today, but in particular, they are easy thrift flips. And what I wanted to do is, this is very much kind of behind the scenes stuff. This is what I do all the time. Insofar as I thrift items that I can zhuzh up and resell in my shop. And by and large, most of those projects, the zhuzhing, doesn't take a lot. Usually it just comes down to paint. And that's really just what I want to show you today, is kind of the transformative power of paint. And if you're doing this for your home, then I want you to be able to see how you can take things that you think are old and dated, don't fit your decor anymore, and just turn them around and give them new life with just a little bit of paint, which is way less expensive than pitching them and going out and buying something brand new. The other side is that if you happen to have a shop or a booth or a market, it gives you an idea of how easily you could change up some of these items for resale. There's going to be some items that take a lot more of your time and your effort. You cannot put that time and effort into everything that you resell. So sometimes you want to be looking for some of those quick flip items just to be able to keep some of your overhead costs down. So one item that I just thrifted yesterday is this beautiful milk glass lamp. Now, it is very dated. The brass is pitted. You've got the brass, you've got silver, you've got turned wood. It's kind of weird. It's kind of a hodgepodge. And so it looks very disjointed. We're going to merge it all together by simply taking one color paint. Now, I'm not going to paint this. We are building around the beautiful hobnail glass here, right? We're playing with that white because it's a go with anything kind of color. We just want this to look fresher, cleaner, and a little bit more modern to fit into more decor styles. So what I am going to do is take French Eggshell by Fusion. I'm using Fusion paint for all these projects because then they are done. And I am just going to paint everything except the milk glass in that lovely French Eggshell blue. Now, on all these, we're likely gonna need 2 coats, but look already at that beautiful color. Now, what will happen is when we combine that blue with that white of the milk glass, it's now going to become something very soft, somewhat feminine. It's going to be very pretty. Now, we do not have the harp up here. There is no shade for this, so I will have to work on that still. So I'm missing the harp. I don't have a shade, but we'll work on that. That's the least of our issues. The only effort that we're putting into this right now is getting it painted out. The next little thrifted project is this. Now, this is kind of a professionally done. It's got the inset hanging hooks. I thrifted this because I got it for $6. And I bought it just because the handles, right? The hooks, there's 5 of them, are worth more than $6. But what we are gonna do is we're gonna take advantage of these. They are not a bad color necessarily, but they look really blah on this. So first of all, we are gonna take them off the wood. And then I have this special color set off to the side that I had mixed for another project, and this is a leftover. And it's kind of this farmhousey bluey green. So I think that'll be a nice, we want to keep it fairly light to show off the brass here, but I want to, lighten it and give it a little bit more contrast so that we have something there. I think we're going to need something taller so I'm not banging against the hardware as I'm getting the screws out. But I'm going to remove these, and I'm going to get this painted out. It's just a flat board, so you don't need to see me do that. But I just need a long screwdriver to be able to do that, and I don't have the kind right here. So I'm gonna get that done, and I'm gonna get a couple of coats of that green on. I don't know if I will distress it or not. I think I'm just gonna leave it, but you never know. You never know if I end up white waxing it or something. So we'll see once I get to that point what I choose to do. But I wanna get it painted out first to take a look. Now, this mirror is the only one that I had a specific direction in mind because I know where this is going and who it's going to be for. So they've just got the bathroom redone. They needed a new mirror for it. I grabbed this one, but they need it to be, well, this is kind of silver, kind of nickel silver with a little bit of black. We need to take it the reverse. We need it to be a super dark gray. So I'm using cast iron, which is a dark, true charcoal by Fusion. And then we'll be adding a little bit of the silver back. So you can see this one, you probably can see here, like somebody had it hanging on the wall and painted their walls around it. So it's got like their cream color from their walls on it. And so it definitely needs a makeover regardless, but you know, you could look forever to find the right mirror. And sometimes you already own it. You've just switched colors and you just need to change out the color of the existing mirror. And that's often the case. It's surprising to me how many people come in and say, okay, well, you know, what color mirror would I look for now that we painted my bathroom cabinet this color? And I'm going, well, don't you have a mirror? And they go, yeah, but it doesn't go anymore. And I'm going, well, let's talk about what color you could paint the mirror. And they look at me in shock and surprise. Oh my God, I could do that? So often you have the perfect item already in your house. It's just the wrong color. And that's where the paint comes in. And paint is just magic because it freshens everything up. It makes it like new, and it's able to change out your existing items into the new items that you want and you need with very little expense. Now this is a pretty slick surface, so I'm definitely going to need 2 coats on this, but I'll get those on. And then we'll be back when we start looking at adding the silver. But this might look black to you, but it's definitely a dark charcoal, so it's much softer than the silver and black looks here. You're gonna see I'm not taping off my mirror. I am just gonna use the razor blade method afterward. I find for me, that works great and is actually faster for me than taping it all off first. For our little board, our hooks would go on this like this, and that would be cute. But because these are a cream coating, I just want to dry brush some cream. So I have a little bit of Champlain by Fusion, and it's not going to take much. So I've got a little tiny dab. I have a chip brush because I don't want it to be smooth, and I am emptying a lot of it off so that I can just do kind of a quick dry brushing across this. I'm not looking at it having tons, right? Just nice and light. And you can see I haven't re-dipped my brush at all. And now I'm dipping in, but I'm not dipping in that little splotch of paint. I'm dipping off to the side just so that I can dry brush these edges. And then I'll set this off to the side to dry. until we're ready to put our hardware back on. And then this one is finished. Now, our little lamp did not have a harp, so part of the fitting, and a lampshade. I have no white lampshades in the shop. They're all kind of an icky taupey color. So we're gonna paint it out. It has a little finial, so I'm gonna paint this finial in that same blue, right? In that duck egg blue color. And I'm gonna paint this out white encasement. So again, fusion paint, so it's an all-in-one, one and done, but it's gonna take a couple of coats for sure on this to be able to get it a nice smooth finish. But as with all things, we start with one coat and we take it from there. You can already see, look how clean that makes that look. For the mirror, I have two things left to do. First of all, I need to go around it and just using my X-Acto knife, just scrape up the little bits of paint that I got on it. But it just curls right up. So super easy. The other thing is that because this is going into a bathroom that has silver accents, we're going to bring some of the silver back. Now I know that there was silver underneath and I could try distressing down to it, but fusion dries really pretty hard. So dry sanding this down to the silver probably would leave me with taking some of the silver off. So, and I hate sanding if I don't have to. So the easier way to go is to just get a product like this is a gilding wax by Annie Sloan, or you could do one from Rub and Buff or any product like that. And I can just kind of add the silver to the edges. You can already see that popping. If when it's done, I think that the silver is too much, I can always add a little bit of black wax over the top, just here and there to dull it down a little bit. But so far, this isn't looking too bad and too bright. And I like it when it's sort of uneven, meaning, you know, when I first dip my finger, I have more product on there and then less as I start to move out. So it gives me a way of being able to control it a little bit. Occasionally, I've gotten too much on my finger and I've dabbed it off over on the side, and that's fine too. So I'm just gonna get that done. I'm doing the dots first and then deciding whether or not I want to do any edging. Right now, because we want the silver to be an accent and not the main star, it's sort of looking like just those raised, the raised circles is gonna be enough, I think. And then we let that part dry, which doesn't take long, and we're good to go. Okay, let's take a look at our 3 projects. Now, I don't think there's anything earth-shattering about these, but that's not the point of today's video. Today's video is more showing just how much paint can transform your pieces and how easily it can do that. So the first one was our big kind of multicolored, you know, kind of silvery, brushed silver kind of mirrored frame that had some cream paint on the sides and definitely needed to be fixed up. I'm sure that's why it was put into the thrift store. But again, just a simple little touch-up paint job with it just completely changes it. And this, as much as it's not being sold in the store because it's already been spoken for, would sell very quickly in the store because people are always looking for updated mirrors. They could update their own, but that's just not what happens. We bought this board. It has its own hanging hardware with these existing hooks on it. And we didn't do anything to the hooks. They were worth the thrifted price in and of themselves. All that we did was we painted this in kind of a pre-mixed blue-gray, and then we dry brushed some of the cream over top to be able to coordinate a little bit better with the hooks. This, just in and of itself, in an entryway, nice and solid, to be able to hang coats, and we're going into that season. Definitely a nice, simple fix, but something that in a booth doesn't take up a lot of space, but it's a quick and easy sell. Our lamp find was a little bit of the bigger transformation, because if you recall, we had that wonderful milk glass segment right in the middle with the hobnail patterning on it. But then we had a mishmash of brass and silver and wood pieces, all of which, you know, like the brass was kind of pitted, looked kind of old. So, but it had been rewired. It had a lovely new wire on it. We didn't have a nice light stand. Let me kind of show you. We got the little finial on top. We didn't have a lampshade, so we painted out that grungy beige one, nice, fresh, and white. It looks great. And now we've got a really soft kind of finish on this. It's all coordinated. It looks great. And again, a nice, easy sell for somebody, again, that this fits color scheme wise. But more than anything, I mean, you don't have to be someone who thrifts and flips for a living. You can do this in your own home. You can take a look at items that, you know, maybe you're changing out your color scheme in your living room and some of your lamps don't seem to fit anymore. They're not the right color. The lampshade doesn't work. A little paint can go a long way and can really extend out your home decor and decorating budget. Put the money into the pieces that you need the money to go into. Buy a little paint and fix up the others so that they accent in the way that you need. I hope this gave you some ideas, if not on quick turns that you could make for your booth or for markets when you're out thrifting, but just even in your own home. Things that need an upgrade or an update, and how quick and easy it can be. Thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to hearing your comments, and definitely looking forward to seeing you on the next one. And until then, take care.